Alright guys, welcome back to another live stream. In this live stream we're going to do something a little bit different and try out some new format for a new kind of show that I want to do, where we'll be attempting to create beginner to intermediate level gameplay mechanics in Unreal Engine 4 using blueprints, and then trying to convert that logic from blueprints to C++ as a form of a learning exercise. So if you guys have any ideas on simple mechanics that you would like me to try to prototype using blueprints and converting to C++, let me know in the chat. And if there are a lot of ideas, I'll create a poll and we can vote on what we do next. But for this episode, we're going to work on a suggestion from one of our watchers, Codebreaker. Basically have a health and shield mechanic. And my interpretation of this mechanic, based on what he has said, it should work similarly to, I guess, how Halo works. Halo, I guess, health mechanic. Like basically, you have health, and then you have shield, and as you take damage, shield gets depleted, and once you have no more shield, your health starts getting depleted, and then if your health goes down all the way, you die. Right, and after X amount of seconds after receiving damage, your shield regenerates and your health regenerates in some way. In the original game, you have these little pegs here that indicate your health, quote unquote, and then you have this bigger bar that represents the shield, and you can see like kind of the icons representing that too. So let me get started. Pull up Paint. Let me try to use my new Cintiq piece thing. See if I can actually have it work in our favor. Just to draw out some plans. You guys will get to see my terrible handwriting while we plan this out. So. Tap off my drawing, maybe right there. Not working. Oh yeah, it's not. Let's see. Give this bad boy a go. Woohoo! Okay. I don't know why it's like broken up. That because of my. Oh yeah, I can just. Okay, so let's create a new. I gotta learn how to use the Cintiq. But so essentially, this is what we need. Need a character, right? Oh boy. Need a character, a char. I'll say that. Need health. Oh my god, this is terrible. Is it because of my hand? Probably. Got health. This is awful. Alright. So, arrow this way, right? Health. Okay. Cintiq is not garbage, but I can't. So it's not letting me draw an E for health. We need health. And we need shield. What else do we need? A gorgeous handwriting. That's the best I can write it. Hey Lucky, what's going on? I'm trying to use my Cintiq right now and I can't do shit. Disable Windows Ink. Okay. I'll do that later. I'm not going to waste time on stream to do that. But right now what we're doing, we're trying out a new format of a type of show where I build a gameplay mechanic, a fairly simple or intermediate gameplay mechanic using blueprints, and then converting it to C++ in a different live stream. So right now we're gonna create one from scratch using blueprints and then do that from there. So the recommendation, the recommended mechanic is to have a health and shield gameplay mechanic. So I interpret that as what they did for Halo. Like, this is the original Halo UI where you have the overall shield and you have these pegs for your health. In later games, you don't really see your health anymore. You just see the shield, and then you kind of have post-processing and fancy screen effects to indicate how much health you have left. So I'm not sure exactly how you would want to do it, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be too hard. Like, the hard part is gonna be making it look nice later on. But if anybody has recommendations for other mechanics, oh yeah, sprinting energy HUD, yeah, that makes sense too. So if you have recommendations for different mechanics you want to see prototyped or made from scratch, let me know in the chat. I'll write them down, and we can, have a poll, see if people want to vote on certain ones, and we can kind of get the ball rolling from there. But today, this is what we're gonna do. I can't imagine it taking more, like, getting it working is gonna take, like, I don't know, like an hour max. Is that the recommendation from you, to make something from stamina, like sprinting stamina, or because we can add that if you want. But right now we have a pretty much a fresh project. It's using 4.26. Okay, yeah, I'll write it down. Let me take a note. Is there any compromising information here? No. Okay. Ideas. Sprinting. Stamina. Mechanic. Save it to the desktop. So we have a first-person project using and for Unreal Engine 4.26. Fresh project. I made it a C++ project built from the Epic Games launcher because we're gonna need C++ anyways. So if we just play, we got your basic stuff. I'm gonna lower the volume on that because that is just god awful loud in my ear. Should be better. That's fine. Okay, so first things first. Again, we're doing this in blueprints. We're not gonna do anything super duper fancy. We're gonna grab our first person character, and for bare bones use, I'm gonna create two bars of UI, just a health bar and a shield bar. And once we get the actual functionality mechanics working, we can kind of remove the health bar, transition that to like some fancy like blood splash screen or something along those lines, and maybe add sound effects. I don't really know. But let's start by creating some variables. So we'll say max health. See, these have to be floats. And we need max shield and shield. Probably gonna need also a variable for shield regeneration delay. And we're probably gonna need shield regeneration rate. Might need similar things for health, unless we really don't want to repair health, unless you get like some sort of quote unquote health potion. For now, we'll just make the assumption that we just want shield to regenerate after a certain period of time. So now max health. What about a shield damage and health damage, or just hit? Maybe we will need those. I'm not sure just yet. I kind of want to first do things where I just so we gotta do let's create a new actor just so we know something can deal damage to us. So actor, BP, damage actor. And we'll just give it a box component, box collision. Doesn't have to be anything too fancy. Wipe everything out because we don't need it. Go down here, we have these events, on component hit. So on component begin overlap. You could do that. So other actor, we can cast that to, first person character. And this should just be applied damage. We'll just say 1 for now. And we'll say self is the instigator. We're not going to need it to do anything special, but you know, damage causer is fine. No damage type class, nothing like that. And we should have event take damage, right? Take damage. Damage? Yeah, event any damage. Let's print out this bad boy. Well, let's just see if we got the basics of it going, right? So we can just throw this actor in the world. We can just make the box component something more obvious for us, and then we can also make it not hidden in game. Just so we can see it. Let's throw this up, hit N, drop it back down. I don't know how to use cast. I don't really understand it. Reduce speed by 200%. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm going kind of fast. I kind of was wondering how fast I could do this. Okay, let me just check if I get damage dealt to me. Let's just see if we get that working. So yeah, it's printing 1. We know we're getting damage. So to answer the first question, I don't know how to use cast. You don't understand it. So basically, essentially what you're doing is you're checking if an actor or object is derived from a specific class. So in this case, this onComponent begin overlap event occurs when there's a valid overlap between this box and another object, and it returns that other actor. Then we're basically asking, hey, is this actor of this class first person character? Yes, okay. It returns that actor casted to that class. If not, it will print, it won't cast correctly. It will fail and it will just kind of shit its pants, right? So say for example, I do cast to literally anything. So cast to hierarchical LOD volume. Cast failed will print hello. Otherwise we'll apply damage. It's not a check if this guy's here. It's more like, is this guy Devin? Is this guy Virgin Studios? Is this guy Lucky? You know, is he of this class? So for example, you know, for the sake of the conversation, I'm going to assume there's only 2 genders right now, okay? So say you have the person class, and then you have the male class, and you have the female class. A man and a woman would both derive from the human person class. So you would say, okay, let me cast a person, and then whatever person functionality I have, I can call on that object. But for example, if I want to know if it's a woman, I cast to woman, so I can do specific functionality on that woman class. I don't know. That might be oversimplifying it, but that's what it does. So in this case, when I'm overlapping with this box, I'm asking if the actor that's overlapping this box is of hierarchical LOD volume. And obviously, this character, no, it's not. And it's going to print hello because it failed. Yeah, give me just a second, Sandra. Let me just cast this back to the first person character. I wish I can... So it's, we have max health, max shield, and shield regeneration delay, and shield regeneration rate. But I will work for a bit because I gotta eat. But thanks for the explanation. Yeah, no problem. And just because it's not my personal project, I kind of want to blast through this. But if I go too fast, stop me, and I'll explain what I need to explain. Okay, so at this point, hey Codebreaker, so we're working on that shield mechanic that you suggested. And I made the assumption that this shield mechanic would have to work similarly to how, like, Halo works, where you have a shield, you get shield damage, and then once your shield runs out, you'll start taking health damage, and then after X amount of seconds of not taking any damage, you start to regenerate your shield again. I'm not sure about regenerating health, but we can tackle that later. So is that the right interpretation of what you wanted? Or is there something I'm missing? Okay. So right now, what we've already proven is that we're able to receive damage from this volume actor I created. So again, if I run into this, it's going to print 1, because that's how much damage I'm passing in for the sake of whatever. We can make a base damage variable, expose it, so that we can update it later. I meant more like shields being a temporary thing, like an ability that grants X amount of shield for Y amount of seconds. I mean, yeah, like this would pretty much be the same. Just the lack of granting. But yeah, whatever. we'll figure something out later. So we have base damage. Expose on spawn. Yeah. Variable basis marked as exposed. Oh yeah, we gotta have it editable. Okay, bada bing, bada boom. So now we have event take any damage. So what we can do is, first we need to check shield. So is shield greater than 0? And then if so, so if it's greater than 0, then we want to subtract this value. So let's just make this a variable too. In damage. Then we can say, okay, if shield's greater than 0, we want to subtract from the shield. That in damage. We're also going to do another check. So what we can do is minus float, then shield, and then we gotta check now, is shield less than 0? Because whatever value shield is gonna be, we would then have to subtract it from health. We'll make it do one remaining damage. Or can we just re-put this in? What's the term? Yeah, abs, that's right, absolute. Minus. Now this is the new health. And then if this is less than or equal to 0, we die. So let's look at this again. So what happens if shield is not greater than 0? Then we basically want to take in damage and subtract it from health, right? We basically want to do this. So it's probably best, potentially, to make it either its own function or its own event. For right now, I'll just make it an event. Check remaining health. Check remaining health. This says check remaining health. And then when this says false, this means there is shield left over. So let's set both shield and actually we'll do this on, I guess, event begin play, because max health will make 100, max shield will make 100, and then we can just set health and shield to their maximum values. Maybe better to do it on construction script. Okay, so now let's actually print our values. Okay, slower. Alright. How's it going, Xylo over? Yeah. So check remaining health. So basically, we're checking that we're subtracting the damage from our health, because first we check shield. If shield is greater than 0, then we know we have to subtract shield. But if shield isn't greater than 0, then we know we just have to check remaining health. And again, we take health, we subtract that in damage, and set that variable again. And then if we check if it's less than or equal to 0, at this point we're dead. So we could just say dead. And we could possibly have a dead function that respawns and sets everything back up. Yeah, that's right, Codebreaker. Everybody, if you're not following, make sure to follow. Get plus 69 UE4 knowledge. And support the cause. Support the cause of education. But I want to be able to print now. And I guess I could say we can make it append here. Shield left over. Dump him in. Then do something very similar down here. So now, in theory, this should work. Let me update the damage actor. Let me make a new boolean, B periodic damage, and then damage interval. This will be a float, because I want to add periodic damage so I don't have to keep overlapping and ending overlapping with this thing. So we can say on event begin play, we have periodic damage. Actually, no. We could say it this way. What connects shield and append? This is a node that automatically converts a float to a string. You can also see this, for example, if I were to make an integer variable and I connect it, it automatically converts. So it's just a conversion. So if you remember, I think last week, Sandra, we looked at C++ and they have those, we talked a little bit about like implicit conversions and stuff like that. It's pretty much that behind the scenes. Can someone help me with post-process? I cannot manage to get something good everywhere. Can you be more specific? What's the end goal? What's wrong right now? Like more details, and maybe someone can answer in the chat. And maybe I don't know how. Maybe I could. Oh yeah, we want to update the string to say health leftover. Okay. So if we want periodic damage, it'll probably be easier on begin overlap. It's like, okay, we want to let's create a new event. Colors are weird. That doesn't help. Do you have like a picture or a video or something? Let me make a custom event. Apply damage. And let's make it a first-person character input. Let's make that a variable as well, a character. Yeah, maybe I can make the text size bigger. So that should be better. Is that better? Oh, is it because of me? Okay. Yeah, sorry. Let me make myself smaller. I'll put myself, I don't know, in the bottom here. We can move that there. Or I can just, I don't know. Do something like that. Alright, I'll readjust how everything looks for the future, just so you guys don't have problems. Alright, so we're gonna do it like that for now. So you guys can see everything. So again, periodic damage. So what we're saying here is on begin overlap, let's check our character. If it's valid, let us initialize that. So if we don't want periodic damage, we can literally just call apply damage. Just throw in our character here. And then if we do want periodic damage, what we can do is we can do a timer, event timer. Put in our damage interval. Looping, yes. Initial start delay. No, we don't need anything like that. Now we can create our delegate. So we create that. And then we can do apply damage, no? Do I have to compile first? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Let's see. Create a matching event. Oh, that's why, because we want to pass in the character. So I guess what we can do. Yeah, no, that's kind of gross. I guess what we can do is not pass the character. Do it and do something like this. Check if it's valid. And if it's valid, pass it in. Then we can just disconnect that. Now we should be able to do that. Apply damage. So by default, the damage interval will be 1. And by default, periodic damage will be true. So now, we should, in theory, of course, let me see if I can, let me make this text size smaller now. This is getting kind of ridiculous. Or not, I guess we're stuck this way. Why? That's upsetting. Give me a second, I'll look again. Okay, thank you. Alright, let's just play. So let's see what happens. Okay. So technically that looks like it's working. Let's change base damage to 10. Just to see if everything works. Okay, that looks right. Now let's do some weirder number. Like 15. That looks right to me. I don't know if you guys agree, but looks good. I look like Travis Scott. I hope. Well, I guess that's a compliment. So, now let's go ahead and make our UI elements. Honestly, I'm not going to care right now about organizational structure. But let's go ahead and make a user interface. So BP underscore UI underscore. I guess we could just put them both in the same thing. I don't see a problem with that. Main. Kind of gross, but whatever. Yeah, I'm doing the shield stuff without gas. But there's too much setup in between being able to script it. Like, first you have to set up gas and then set everything up in regards to creating attributes. And you can't do that in just blueprints. You need C++. So I'd rather just create these mechanics using vanilla Unreal without any plugins, use blueprints, and then evolve it into C++, just so it's more accessible to everyone, so you don't need to know the gameplay ability system. All you really need to know is Unreal Engine. So, just take what I say with a grain of salt, then, if you want to know it with the gameplay ability system, but for now, this is what we're using. It would work the same way, honestly. Like, you would create these attributes for shield and health, and when you take damage, quote unquote, you would apply like an instance effect that subtracts from your shield or your health, and the concept's the same. It's just you have different ways to go about it. So yeah, as Sandro said, this is noob friendly content, but I appreciate the content nonetheless. So let's go in. So this is our UI. Again, right now we're not going to be making anything too fancy yet. So let's work with 2 progress bars. Alright, let me try this text size thing one more time. Why is it not letting me make my text smaller? I'm so upset. Hold on, I gotta fix this. This is getting on my nerves. Can't update text size on. Wise. That's some garbage. All right, I guess we can't worry about it right now. Okay. So we have progress bar 69. Let's get a 69 in the chat, boys and girls. Let's call this health bar. And then let's anchor it to the bottom. Kind of like how we have it for our project. Let's align it 0.5 and 1. And then, I don't know, add like minus 100 to it to position it that way. Then, yeah, let's make it, I don't know, 500? Just so it's a decent size. Oh, why did I not mention I worked on a book? I don't know, I keep that stuff to myself, I suppose, and now I'm being more open about it. All of last year, I helped co-author a book, Unreal Engine projects using Unreal Engine 4, I think it's what it's called. And then I also worked on a book back in 2015. It was Unreal Engine Physics Essentials, but that one's outdated at this point. But yeah, a book came out last month. So, check it out. If you want to buy it, awesome, but don't worry about it if you don't. But it's helpful. It's got C++, simple projects, so appreciate the support in any way. So for the health bar, honestly, we have a percentage. Health, what color should we make the health? I'm guessing we should make it green. So let's make it some sort of green. And so background style, I think we can literally make the tint like, I don't know, can I just do 0? Yeah. So it's like an empty box. And you'll take damage, you'll be like, right? We'll set it to 1 by default. Make it lerp between green and red based on the health percentage. Yeah, we can do that. We'll do that when we get to it. Thanks for the suggestion. Christy boy, I appreciate it. Can't wait to see you next month, bud. So let's copy and paste this health bar as well for our quote-unquote shield bar. Shield bar. I guess we could make this what, minus 50 or something. And let's just make this a little wider. And then we'll make it. Mwah. Thanks for the kiss, Chrissy. Dua Lipa. Mwah. Alright. Inside joke, sorry. Alright, shield will be like a blue or color or something like that, right? Yeah, see, I updated. See, I updated Hugs. Yeah, I mean, if you have any suggestions, just a general gameplay mechanics you want to see, if you want to see prototype, that's great. I want to limit how crazy we get with this one because I don't want to be doing this forever. Okay, so if you have brand new mechanic ideas, Christoph, hit them in the chat. I'll write them down and we can see what we can do next time. Okay, so we have our health bar and our shield bar. So now what we need to do is put this on screen. The most direct way to do that is through the player controller. And I don't think that for the example project, I don't think they give us one by default. Let's create a new player controller. And let's just use this controller in our, that's plugins. Put in this player controller in our maps and modes. Okay, so maybe we can do it in the world settings. Okay. Oh, I have something. It's probably hard, but telekinesis, telekinesis, not so difficult. Like picking stuff up and throwing them, kind of like in Control. Shouldn't be too hard. We could try that. I'll add it to the list. I guess while we're at it, we're gonna need to create a game mode. Game mode. In our game mode, our player controller class will be our BP player controller. Default pawn class can be our first person character. And then in our project settings, we can just put in BP game mode, and we're done. So everything should still technically work. Yes, we're good. Yeah, I know. Way ahead of you, Codebreaker. Don't worry, this ain't my first rodeo. Alright, so we got our game mode. Get our controller. Make it so when someone gets damaged, a little widget appears at the place of damage, displaying the damage value, and it flies up and fades out or something. Oh, yeah, that's definitely that's possible, no problem, but the game would have to probably be third person if you wanted to see that. There is a good documentation on how to do that for the gameplay ability system, like the Tranic project does something like that. But yeah, definitely not something hard to do. I guess you would have to have like a widget component maybe above the enemy's head or the player's head, and then update that widget when you receive damage, and then the exact damage value, change the color based on if it's a critical hit, you know, stuff like that. You know, the possibilities are endless, baby. Alright, so we have our player controller. I guess in begin play we can create a widget. It'll be our main one. I guess we can get ref to self because it requires a controller. And we could just add to viewport. Yeah, exactly. So now if we play, we should have our UI, and we don't. Dope. What happened? Does this get called? Okay, no, it doesn't. Oh, because we're not playing the right game mode. There we go. Let me take that breakpoint off. There we go. There's our UI. So obviously nothing is happening because we haven't connected the damage being taken to these components. So what would be the best way to do this? You know, there are a couple of ways. Like the dirty way is to use a bind, and we create a new variable for our character. And we'll make a character. And then we could just say is valid. And we can get max health. And we can get health. Divide. And just to be safe, clamp it. Throw it there. And then event begin play. There should be like get owner or something like that. Or get player. Get owner and player pawn. Yeah, this is dirty, like I said. Yeah, that's definitely an option to do the, you know, get validated version, but I don't know, this seems cleaner to me. And what Codebreaker is referring to is you can do this, right click, convert to a validated get. It's your preference. Personally, I just like having it written like this. Cast to first person character. And put that in. So again, this is the dirty way. I should have done shield so we can see it quicker, but we'll wait for health. So you can see our health is going down. I guess it would be good to have a background so you see how much is left. So let's add a tint. Let's just put it back to normal. Again, we're not trying to make this pretty, we're trying to make it work. Making it pretty is for the artists, not for us. Maybe begin play is too early for that. You should set the reference from the player itself when it spawns, maybe. No. See, the reason why I'm doing it this way is just to show it that it works quickly. But what we're gonna do is use callback events from our character to update the stuff. So what we can probably do is we don't need our damage actor anymore. I have noticed that in some circumstances it's not enough to cast it to the player once in the beginning. I had to get a fresh reference every frame, but I can't tell what case it is. Can you say anything about this? I could never see where or how your reference would ever get dirty unless you died. Like, I don't know how that reference became null and void. So I have no like, unless like you're adding a new widget, like a new instance of the widget, and the old one becomes irrelevant or something. I'm not sure. But an option we can do, it's a dirty one as well, because there is a rep notify. And it creates this function. Maybe we can create an event. No, we can create a dispatcher. That would be good. Create a dispatcher. Update health. And again, yes, Codebreaker, I know. This is a single player game, so it should work. If it doesn't, then we'll figure it out. We have update health. Oh, we can call it any time, but we want to update the signature. We should be able to. Yeah, here we go. I'm not saying I'm smart, I'm just saying I've used this engine for 5 years. And I've seen most things. I could be wrong, but, you know, make the assumption that I know what I'm doing. So we can pass in, maybe we could just pass in health percentage. Let's just say health, max health. Divided for safety, clamp. But we'll find out if I'm wrong very shortly. So let's get rid of this binding. Delete it completely. Then assign health, update health. Health updated. And we can grab our health bar. And we can say set percentage. Let's pass it in. Oops. So moment of truth. Let's see if what I did worked. If not, it'll be easy to update anyway. And it works. Bam, bam, bam. So say, for example, you don't want to use this on rep notify at all. You could just call update health like here. And just put in the value you want. Or just make another event. Custom event. Send health percentage to UI. And just do the same thing you were doing in this rep notify. Just say sent health. If that makes you a happy camper, go for it. I believe in you. So we have that. I'm gonna stick with this right now. That's fine. And what Christoph was asking about, or was saying, is we could try to lerp the color between green and red, depending on the value. If you're not familiar with lerp, it's short for linear interpolation. So you basically interpolate a value between two values. So linearly interpolate a value from 0 to 1, right? As the example. So what we can do is we can set fill color and opacity. Lerp. And we're going to go from green to red. Maybe Christoph can give a better explanation if mine was not very clear, because Christoph knows a lot about this stuff too. So green, red. So now, as we take damage, we should be getting closer and closer to red. So we just have to wait. Okay, I'm going the wrong way. So close. "50-50 shot always on that one. As it gets lower and lower, get closer to the red, and then dead. Right? Alright, this recommended reading is again getting in the way. Could throw him over here. So now we can do pretty much the same thing with shield, right? Let's get rid of the rep notify. Let's just do shield the same way. So another dispatcher. Update shield. Another interesting thing you could do with the health bar is like when they do in League of Legends. So to have two health bars overlapping, and the front one is your actual health bar, and the one behind it is lagged by a few frames and always red. So when you get damaged, the actual health bar jumps to the new value, and then back one transitions. Yeah, I think a lot of anything, usually with anything with health bars except for Aquanox, I think did this. So that maybe that could be your homework extra learning, because I'm not going to do that right now. Let's make a new custom event. Send shield. Yeah, like it's partly functionality and aesthetic, but yeah, like right now we just want to have this working, and you know, maybe that could be its own episode where it's like, okay, you know, make a health bar that, you know, shows the difference between damage taken or whatever, and catches up with each other. I don't know how you would call that. I guess lagged, as you said. Send shield percentage to UI. Okay, we can copy that. Change that to shield and max shield. Update shield, new parameter. What do we name this one? Health percentage. Shield percentage. Pass it along. Oh, we should compile first so the parameter updates. And then it should take place right here. where we would call send shield percentage to UI. Can also clean this up just a smidge. Then go into our UI. Just create a dispatcher so it's cleaner looking. Go. Then do another one. Sign, shield. Shield updated. Take the shield bar, do the same thing. Add the dispatcher. Make it look nice. So there's our blueprints. See if this works. Okay. And it works. All right. So now we have to work on shield regeneration. So how do we want that to work? So I guess, yeah, we wouldn't want to do. I guess we'll have to use a sequence. Then we could do a delay, a retriggerable delay. Or should we use like a gate? Let's think about this. We have the shield regeneration delay. We'll say it's 1 second. Yeah, you can use gameplay effects, exactly, but we're not going to be using the gameplay ability system, so let's work with what Unreal gives us by default. Let's move this logic down. Yes, a gate would have to be the way to go. Because, you know, it would open. No, I don't think so. I gotta wrap my mind around this. I didn't really think about this. So after the shield regeneration delay, we want to. I'm trying to do shield regeneration now, Christoph. So after after 1 second, if you haven't taken damage, your shield will regenerate over time. But as soon as you take damage again, your shield will stop regenerating. You know, I guess maybe on begin play I could constantly be updating the shield value, but that'll be redundant if it's already at 100%. So I don't really want to do that. Guys, smash follow or I smash you. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking about, Kristoff, in combat. So maybe we could do like... so event begin play. And then, what's the term? Oh, we just wrote it. Set timer. You could do event. I mean, you technically could start a timer and begin playing. Check your shields max before trying to. Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna try to do. So we can have a boolean like Kristoff said. So be in combat. Fight. Stop hitting fight. Boolean. Thank you. So by default it's gonna be false, but as soon as we take damage, we're gonna set that to true. And then after the retrievable delay, say false. Guess we can make a custom event. Regenerate shield. Our shield regeneration rate would be our time. We'll say 0.1 seconds. I guess we have to do what? Shield regeneration value. We'll say 5 or something. So now we got that. And so regenerate shield. What do we want to do there? Let's first make a dispatcher, regenerate shield. Ah. Yeah, 5 every 0.1 seconds. Again, codebreaker, we're not doing anything. We're not making a game here. We're just trying to see if this is working. No need to question the logic. Regenerate shield. So what are we gonna do? Regenerate shield, and this time so we're gonna say shield plus value. Shield. And we can clamp this value between 0 and max shield. Yeah. Let's make this look nicer, I suppose. It's good as it's gonna look. And then we can create another dispatcher. Actually, no, we don't need to create a dispatcher. We could just call update shield. And we could just divide this by max shield. And I think that should technically work. Well, the clamps are for safety here. But I know what you mean. You have the slider range and you have the value range. So the range of values allowed by this variable. Values outside this range will be clamped to the range. So there's a type? No. No, there isn't. Not in Blueprint. Oh, like float range? This thing? The fuck is float range? I never even touched that. Yeah, I guess you can use it. So it's, yeah, so it's literally a range. I don't know what. I guess you can use it, right? Like, for example, in the construction script, you can do something like, can you break this? Or make one? Make? Can you convert? No. So you can do something like that. Like, I can't see where you would use this, but your thinking's the same. You could definitely use this instead. I just don't think it's necessary. It might cause more confusion for someone who doesn't, like, I would not know what that was doing at first, but because I wasn't sure what that variable type was. But, you know, it could work. So let's see if this will work. Okay, so it's automatically doing that. I think it's because the delay has to be longer than a second. Because that's our damage interval. Okay, still wrong. So I'm still getting damage. Oh yeah, I gotta do end overlap. Forgot to carry about that. Let's just do that real quick. So end overlap. Do the same thing. Promote this timer to a variable. Then we can clear handle. This will tell it to stop damaging us. I think I updated the combat state for sure. Okay, so we fixed that. Ah, I see. I thought you meant this part. Yeah, I need to check. So is not... Okay. Now that should work. I don't need the sass right now, Codebreaker. Let's see if this works. Yes, we got it. So I guess to make it relatively smooth, your regeneration rate would have to be some smaller number. And so would have the regeneration value. So we're taking damage, taking damage. And there you go. And honestly, the smaller the numbers that you do, you know, smoother it'll be. I guess there could be a way of like interpolating between like those values so that it's smooth as well. I wonder if there's a way to make that look smoother. So regeneration value, we'll keep at 1. And the delay, or the rate I should say, we'll make it 0.1, so it should be choppy. Yeah, so it's kind of like ducka 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 ducka. Well, let's emphasize that more. So 0.5 seconds. I just really want it to be choppy. So yeah, choppy. So let's see if we can somehow interpolate that value. I'm not sure if you talked about this, but I think it's important to mention what's the difference between a timer tick and such, and how this can connect to a frame rate dependency just because it made it with a timer. Yeah, I haven't talked about it. So basically, like a timer, I think timers are independent of frame rate, whereas tick is dependent on frame rate. Well, your delta time. So the time between frames is smaller when you have better frames per second. Yeah, and timer uses fixed time steps. So if you're doing a multiplayer game, it might be dangerous to use timers. Maybe, I guess as long as you do timers, I guess on the server, I guess it's fine. But you don't really want to run a timer on the client because I think that could lead to cheating. Like if you had something gameplay related on a timer, it could be exploited. So let's see. What can we do? Honestly, we need to lerp. And I guess there's the get delta, right? Get world delta seconds. So, wait. So current shield. Oh boy. Current shield. And then we need one for like old shield or something like that. And like current shield and old shield. So old shield should be 1 by default. And then we would set old shield to current shield after. Oh boy. And we would lerp between, I guess, current shield and old shield. That might be backwards. Let's just see what fucking mess this just creates. Okay, so it doesn't really lerp. Let me just switch the values around just to see if that makes any difference. If not, we'll kind of have to evaluate it. Okay, feedback loop. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that didn't make a difference. I wonder. Could it literally like do something like this, like lerp like that? I don't know, with an alpha of. What is alpha? What do they describe alpha as? For this, I'm guessing you really just need to increase the update rate. Possibly. I'm just gonna see what gross stuff happens when we change this. Yeah, kind of just goes for it. Or a timeline, I guess. I don't want. I don't know. That's kind of gross, Christoph, with the with the loop. Yeah, like that's using tick. Like delta seconds should be enough. I don't know why it's not. Maybe I just have a misunderstanding of what that does. Yeah. Timeline's gross. I tell you because you must have to update every frame to get smooth transition. Yeah. Can I do like event tick? And this is basically doing the same exact thing, right? Like I very rarely use tick in blueprints. Yeah, that won't help. That's what I thought. But I guess something like this would. But yeah, then that then disregards the rate. Okay, so it's still doing the same thing. Yeah, I understand what the alpha is. Just curious what this will do. For shot, but it would always run while the timeline of the feedback loop is. Okay, so that just does not work. Because the current shield's always updated whichever second. So yeah, I guess it's really up to what the rate is. Yeah. But like, what would be the better method? Like using tick to do that? I'm not sure. So like 0.001, like a regeneration value of 1. No, or something like that. Like ridiculously low numbers to get it to look smooth. I feel like that's gross. I don't even think I can do a timeline. Not in a widget blueprint. That looked nice. But why is it? I fucked up. I gotta change this to shield. Like you can't do timeline in widgets, can you? No. So I have to do it in the character. So we can try the timeline. So, timeline, which is just the poor man's tick. Shield regeneration. Play from start. So go to stop. And the length of it, I don't know. I guess it would have to just be 0 to 1. Generation. Put 2 points in. One at 0, 0. The other one at 1, 1. Expand it so we can see everything. Select both points. Auto that bitch. And then lerp. Guess that value at max. Then like that. Update. Like that. Yeah, you definitely could. Let's just see if that works. I guess I would need to. So regeneration. Let's make everything like 1. So shield regeneration value is fine. Shield regeneration rate, we'll say it's 1. And we'll see what it looks like. Yeah, that works. But you'll notice it kind of messed up at the beginning. Like you take damage, but it goes right back up. So let's see why it's doing that. Definitely something to do in here. And obviously, like, the rate depends now on this length, so we could make it 5 seconds. And it could take longer. But I do want to see why it kind of like, I don't know, it looks weird. But how would I slow it down now? I want it to take 5 seconds. So we have this regeneration value. Oh, yeah. That's a solid point. So again, Codebreaker, not really a valid question because this is all just prototyping. Because like right now, the timer that we have is for the regeneration rate. Like after you take damage, wait 2 seconds before it starts zooming back up. And I'm not sure what new time does, but like the one thing that's bad about this timeline approach is that this value is kind of hidden. So potentially what you could do is in our components, we have the shield regeneration. We should be able to set length, right? Yeah, set timeline length. And we can make a new variable for this for, you know, shield regeneration time. And, you know, this could also be dependent on, you know, how much shield you have left and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because of my job, but, like, I have... At least, like, I have a disdain for for-each loops. At least in blueprints. Well, you know, it's just a personal thing. If it works for you, I'm not saying that's the wrong idea. There's different approaches. So let's say this is 2 seconds. So it should say 2 seconds. And it definitely doesn't take 2 seconds. Why? Alright, yeah, send me a screenshot, but you're saying a feedback loop, so you're literally making it a loop, nonetheless. Like, you do something, you do a delay, you slap it back around. It's a feedback loop. Yeah, I know. I think that's what you mean. Yeah. Let's print this out. Let's see. Why is it already printing? Guess we don't want to do this either. It's not in the combat state, and the shield equals max shield. Ah. So that should stop it from printing right away. Or not. Okay, why? Let's see. So shield is 100, max shield. Oh, it's gotta be not equal. Ugh. No, wait, if shield... yeah, it's gotta be not equal. Should be good. Let's see if these numbers fucking blast off. There you go. Okay, I think it's because it's that kind of gross curve. Let's not make it a curve like that. Let's just make it a linear line. Obviously, you can customize that curve. Now this should just be like... I don't know why it plateaus like that. Constant? No. Kind of curious why that's doing that. Yeah, I guess it is float precision. I guess maybe it would be easier if these were integers. Possibly. Let's just see what happens when we start changing things. Yeah. wonder if it, let me just see. I just 2 points again. I just want to know if like doing the auto curve and then bring it back to linear fucked it up in any kind of way. Because like in my head, it should be like not. Yeah, I don't like how it's going all the way up until 99.9999 instead of just 1 or 100, whatever you would want to say. But yeah, that's more or less the timeline approach. Just curious again, if we make this 5 seconds, it's gonna be ridiculously slow. Send me a screenshot. Okay. Yeah. Come on, where did it go? So this is what Khrushchev sent. So this is the regeneration he's referring to, a feedback loop using a delay. So it's because of the lerp. I mean, what else can you do? Not much, really. Just out of curiosity, I want to multiply this by max shield. Just want to see what this looks like. I don't think it's gonna look good, but we'll see. That's having fun. So. Alright, Codebreaker, then how would you solve this using timelines? If you can't lerp, how would you manage to get like a smooth transition between the shield's current value? You can fix that by using lerp constant. So F enter to constant. So I guess delta time would be the alpha, and then interrupt speed 1. I don't know. Let's see. Something like this, right, Khrushchev? I don't know if that's a yes or a Let's see. It's a yes, okay. Okay, it's going slowly because I made this 5. Back to 1. Let's see. Yeah, so Khrushchev, good call on that. So I guess interp speed is it I'm hoping a higher number the faster it goes. Yeah. There's also curves and stuff. I personally use the event tick on widget, or you can simply just keep a low update rate on the timer. Yeah. Like, I'm curious, is under miscellaneous? There are these curve assets. And I'm not exactly sure how these curves like work and how you would like, you know, reference it and use it to your advantage. That's something I kind of want to research a little more. We could do it on this stream. It doesn't hurt. Maybe for curve assets. I used the tick because I wanted to look as responsive as I can while also using the delta time to make sure that, yep. But wait, I think there is a problem with the whole approach, isn't there? Like, you would get regenerate at the same amount of time when you are almost dead and when you just lost a little health. Let me read that again, Christoph. Like, you would get regenerate at the same amount of time. I can't wrap around what you are meaning. Like, this is supposed to be like similar to, I guess you would say, like Halo, because you have shield, and you know, you get shield depleted all the way, and then you start losing your health, and then once you're out of combat, your shield will regenerate, but your health won't. And I believe that's how it is working right now. At least this example. Oops, I just moved that somewhere. Okay. So that's what you meant. Say you have max health of 500 and you're currently on 10 health and you made the timeline 5 seconds long. So it regenerates in 5 seconds, but you have 450 health, then it would take 5 seconds too. Yeah. So yeah, that definitely is a problem. I know what you mean now. Let's just see if it takes the same amount of time. Like, do we want it to be... I feel like it should take... Like, so if you're at like all the way low, for example, so 2, 3, 4, let's say that was 5 seconds, right? Like, this should not take 5 seconds. It should take 1.5, I guess. And that looks right to me. That feels right. I don't know if you disagree, or are you wondering how does that work with the timeline? Because basically, because it starts at the shield's current value, and it just kind of follows that same curve up. So right now it's, you know, I don't know if making this 2 will change it to the way you described, or if it will work the same but just be slower. Also, am I just setting this variable? Yeah. Shield regeneration time is what I'm setting anyway. So if I make shield regeneration time 5 seconds. Like, that feels good, and let me just see what it looks like at the end. So that looks right. So I think it's literally just the way that this constant interpolation, I think, is working. So if you're at 70 shield out of 100, you know, it'll still go up at the same rate as if it were, you know, 0 out of 100. Yeah, I'm trying to look back at what you're reading. Because I believe, I don't know, like in my head, I don't even know how to describe it. UE4 linear interpolation. Does this give me anything? Just an overload list. So I think that's just the beauty of this F interpolation constant, because it tries to reach a target at a constant rate. So I think that's why it looks good now, like you said, Christoph, and then that's why it kind of looks stupid just using the normal linear interpolation. That's my only real explanation. I'm not 100%. But I think that's right. That looks right, and everything updates correctly. So that looks all well and done. I don't know if we should really handle dying and like respawning. I think that's not necessary. Something that would be interesting too. Like I don't think I'm gonna do it because I don't really have the time. Is like when you play Halo, when your shield regenerates, there's a sound of the regeneration, and it kind of like goes higher in pitch as the higher it goes. So it's like boop, something like that. It'll be interesting how to do that, because obviously that's pitch. And I'm wondering if that would be handled in the sound queue, and you would just pass in a parameter into the sound queue. I'm not exactly sure like how sound queues work in that regard, but that would be something that they would do. Yeah, that would work. Like, I'm just curious though, like say you have the sound. Sound. Is it audio? Yeah. So there's a sound curve source. Oh, okay, it's experimental, so no. Audio. And I guess you would set pitch? You can set pitch multiplier. Yeah, you don't have to make it a component. But, I think in this case it would be a component just so it's there and you turn it on and off. But yeah, you could do something like that. And, pass this value into there. Yeah, right. You can play sound 2D. Really, there's like 1,000 different ways you can do this stuff. So you could do that, or you can make it a component. You can, if you really want to feel spicy, you can spawn a sound. You do all that good stuff. And I guess, yeah, Christoph, you make a good point with the play sound 2D, because it is a UI sound. But other people don't need to hear it. There's no attenuation. There's nothing like that. So that is a valid point, and that would probably be the best way to go about it, I think. So yeah, you got me there, buddy. Okay, so we're getting close to 2 hours. It all technically works. So next Saturday, I'll try to convert this to C++. I just don't know how well it's going to work with timeline. I don't really want to play games. I'm trying to read more this year, but I am still going to play some games. But every time I play games, I'll be streaming it. But I kind of want to relax, read a little bit. But like in the meantime, in the next maybe let's see, I guess for the next like 10 minutes or so, we can just chat for a bit. I kind of want to learn more about how to use this curve. But if you have questions or anything you want to talk about for the next few minutes, we can do it. I already have a stream where I read for you, pretty much. That's the C++ one. But I think it might be illegal as well. But I did buy a couple of books today. Don't judge me because I did it on Amazon. But I ordered these 3 books. Game Programming Patterns, Game Feel, and A History of Video Games in 64 Objects. Give me a second, I'll show you what I'm reading right now. So I started this book last year and I got fucking lazy and stopped reading it, but it's Advanced Game Design, a systems approach. It's pretty good, pretty interesting. As you can see, I haven't really made a dent in it that much. I got all this left. But I'm gonna read more of this tonight. Oops. Then I'm reading this other book called The Siberian. And it's a Polish book, but it's in English. It's translated into English. It's a gift I got for my birthday. And it's this weird set of short stories about these they call them constructors. It's like these 2 like mechanical god guys going on these like wacky ass adventures, and it's pretty cool. So this one's also pretty good, but this one's for creative reading. So that's what I'm reading right now, but I'm gonna also read those books I mentioned. I want to try to read a lot more this year. 2020 was too much of alcohol and other substances, so I kind of want to get big brain back. So I think, Christoph, you were saying 2020 was a lot of beer. Fucking same. So I want to, drink less, exercise more, read more, still party from time to time, but not make that my life. Do more streaming for you guys, try to learn. Yeah, in this stream I learned a lot. I don't know if you remember, Christoph, when we were first working on Aquanox. I think you helped me. I don't know if you worked on it yourself, but we had to create the frickin' ship movement all in blueprints. And I remember using a lot of these like interpolations and all this gross stuff that I hated. That was awful. So my life philosophy is small PP but big brain. So I think where is this tab? Okay, what is this asset called? A curve base? So float curves. UE4 float curves. Because I feel like we could take advantage of this asset in C++, no? So you can get a float value at a specific time. Yeah, so like I guess I can, so I can use what? Delta time and tick to do that? Yeah, I don't know how you would get the time. So this is a decent example, I guess. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's save that bad boy for later. We definitely want to use that. Let's look, Sandra. Material parameter collections. And maybe Christoph would be a good idea to chime in if he's still watching. Material parameters. So is this pretty much what they use for like material instances? That's what it reminds me of. You have your parameter value, and then you have a value. Then you have your scalar and vector. That all sounds like material instance stuff that you can do. Is there yeah. So using material parameter collections in materials. You use this if you don't want to have a dynamic material instance. Is there any like advantage of doing it this way, Christoph? Is there any performance benefit? Oh, global control. I guess that makes sense. It says global in this name example. So I guess would you have like a material parameter collection for like foliage materials? Where you would control like, I don't know, quote unquote wind speed, or maybe like time of year parameters. Okay. I see. So do you have a specific question about this, Sandra? No source video. Good job. Good job, Epic. I see. Speaking of beers, just gonna order. No, Christoph, don't order any more beers. Start the new year off right. Resist, overcome. Yeah, sorry for being silent. I kind of just want to read this. No question, but it was timeline, so figure out. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is probably something I should watch later. But I get, in general, we got it working, quote unquote. doesn't look half bad. You think it's the curve thing? Does this example have a curve? It has a timeline. course not. Yeah. Epic coming in hot with this video. It's there, but not on the screenshot. Okay. Is it the timeline thing? So this? I know you wrote that, but I'm not sure if it's this or that. So I can't manage to make it count the time. So then it does this. So you would have to, like, I don't know. It's hard to tell what's wrong because the description under. Oh, I see what you mean. So this float variable, I don't know, what's that float variable even freaking doing? Doesn't really tell you what they're doing. Okay. So technically we got this working. Just regenerate shield, blah, blah, blah. So I think we're good for tonight. Next Saturday, we'll try to convert this to C++. And then after that stream, we'll work on, there's a few ideas. I didn't write them down like I said I was going to do. Sprinting, stamina mechanic, there was a telekinesis recommendation, and I know Christoph, you recommended something. Let me look back in the combo. Lagged HP bar, thank you. Okay. Any other suggestions, or are these going to be our options? Because I'll probably want to do maybe the small flying widgets with the damage, right? Okay. We'll probably need to create. Well, we don't have to really create an AI. We just gotta put it. We'll probably use it'll probably be best to use the third-person template. Maybe? Nah, we can use the first-person template. It's not a big deal. Okay. So I'll put this up. Yeah, just place 2 characters. Yeah. Because I was thinking, with the first-person template, I'll just need to create my own character. And, give him the skeleton just so he's just kind of physically standing there and breathing, doing the idle pose. So, yeah, I'll create a new poll. Okay, make a 3D Devon Pew Pew some enemies have C+ for another face. Alright, we can do that. We can do that right now. Hold on to your... Oh, I was gonna say hold on to your pussies. But I don't know why I stopped myself. Hold on to your balls, boys. So yeah, I'll create a poll with these options. I like the damage flying number, and I also like telekinesis. I think I made a tutorial back in the day with that, but it'll be easy to do that again. So we'll see. So I might be streaming tomorrow night. I don't know, Sandra, if you're up for some World of Warcraft or not, or if it's a lost cause, but I think me and Billy will play. And then on Monday, either Sunday is Pokemon, or it's World of Warcraft, and then Monday is more World of Warcraft or Pokemon with me and Billy. So on Tuesday we'll continue with our hero project. In the meantime, I'll try to figure out the best layout configuration so you guys can see everything on screen, because you were saying you weren't able to see the details panel and everything. So I'll just try to find the best layout as I can, and I'll make sure I have Unreal Engine 4 opened up just so I know what's being blocked and what's not. And I guess that would help out to be double safe for Visual Studio. Honestly, Visual Studio, it doesn't matter as much. You don't really need to see what's on this side panel. So I'll probably work on that tonight. So I'll message you tomorrow, Sandra. See what we're going to be doing. So thanks for the suggestion, guys. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for helping me learn more. Definitely learned a good amount about. I forgot everything about timelines and interpolation and stuff like that. So thanks, Codebreaker and Christoph, for that. I know we went a little bit fast in the beginning, but hopefully others learned as well. And we'll use this example to convert it to C++. And once we get it working in C++, or because I don't know if I want to dedicate a whole, like, if I can't get it done in one stream, we're just going to kind of drop it. It'll be just rapid prototyping and doing stuff. So whatever the end result is on the next stream, I'll upload everything to GitHub. And so you guys can download the project and just check it out. Thanks, guys. See you later.